On the final night of the girls' high school basketball season, we bring you the final game, and it could be the class of Class 4A. Hello and welcome to Redbird Arena on the campus of Illinois State University. I'm Lee Hall. Thanks for joining us tonight on the IHSA TV network. This is a much anticipated matchup here tonight, a rematch of last year's state title game won by Whitney Young. It's number 1 Whitney Young and number 6 Bolingbrook. And here for the call of tonight's game, Scott Leber and Daryl Kipp.
Thank you very much, Leo Hall. This is the 4th time in the last 5 years that these two teams have met here at the state tournament. They met in the consolation game in 2005, the semifinals in 2006, and of course the championship game last year. And I got a feeling, Coach Kipp, that these two teams have been eyeing each other all season long, perhaps anticipating this night.
Well, everybody's expected this game. Everybody's looking forward to it. It's going to be quite a matchup.
It certainly will be. Let's check out the road to normal for these two teams. First for the Dolphins, of Whitney Young got by Chicago Bogan in the sectional semifinals, then defeated Oak Park. A double overtime, a nail-biter super sectional win over Marion Catholic, and then they rolled over Geneva yesterday. The road to normal for Bolingbrook, wins over Bennett Lyle, Hinsdale Central, super sectional title over Edwardsville, and then yesterday pulling away down the stretch to defeat Wheeling. Some key players in this ball game tonight. A young lady headed to Pittsburgh for Whitney Young who played very well yesterday in Ashlee Anderson.
Well, Ashlee Anderson is kind of an unsung hero. She's an inside-outside threat going to Pitt, like you said, and she's got to stick some of those outside shots tonight, and she's got them from way downtown.
And for Bolingbrook, it's one of their two outstanding freshmen who's our key player tonight, Ariel Massengale.
Well, we'll see how much pressure Whitney Young can put on Massengale. We'll talk about that in a second, but Massengale's just a key. She's got to make some outside shots. She's got to control the ball the whole game tonight for Bolingbrook.
She had 18 points in the semifinals yesterday, 22 points in the championship game last year. Okay, Coach, your keys for the game tonight. Let's start with Whitney Young.
Well, Whitney Young, they're a dominant team, but they need to get those second chance points like they had last night. They can't allow Bolingbrook to get to the rim. And the main thing is they have to pressure Ariel Massengale the whole game. They have several guards that can put on the pressure, and they have to be able to wear her out.
Your keys for Bolingbrook tonight.
Yeah, Bolingbrook's got to D up on Ashlee, not let her shoot those outside shots we talked about. Tuck cannot get in foul trouble inside because that could happen with Portia Harris. And they need to find a third scorer. The two Utes can't do it the whole time.
These are two teams that are certainly battle-tested because their non-conference schedules are just unbelievable.
Well, unbelievable, and they play at a quicker pace than most teams in the state. It's going to be very interesting to see who comes out. It's a battle to the end.
You know, our key players tonight were guards, but how about the bigs tonight? Morgan Tuck, who we've talked about earlier, and Portia Harris. So how do you see that playing out tonight, Coach?
Well, that's going to be a key to the whole game. I think, you know, if Portia Harris can handle Tuck, get those second chances. If Tuck gets in foul trouble, Bolingbrook's in trouble.
Okay, the buzzer says it's time to play ball here in the 4A championship game, and it's also time to meet tonight's players for both of these squads. So the man handling that we'll throw it to right now is our public address announcer this evening, Jeff Fritzen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups for the championship game of the Class 4A IHSA Girls State Basketball Tournament. First from Whitney Young, a sophomore, number 13, Chanise Jenkins. For Bolingbrook, a junior, number 12, Mercedes Griffin. For Whitney Young, a senior, number 32, Ashlee Anderson. For Bolingbrook, a senior, number 14, Satavia Taylor. For Whitney Young, a junior, number 34, Gillian Asque. For Bolingbrook, a sophomore, number 22, Ariel Massengale. For Whitney Young, a senior, number 44, Cara Smith. For Bolingbrook, a junior, number 34, Nicossia Henry. From Whitney Young, a senior, number 55, Portia Harris. And from Bolingbrook, a freshman, number 44, Morgan Tuck. The Whitney Young Dolphins bring a 33-1 record into this championship contest. They are coached by Corry Irvin. The Bolingbrook Raiders bring a 24-4 record into the game, and they are coached by Anthony Smith. Your championship game officials are John Cyprian, Tony Mass, and Randy Steen. And now, fans, before our soloist sings our national anthem, we ask you to stand and remember the men and women of the United States Armed Forces serving throughout the world with a moment of silence. Thank you. And now we ask you to join our guest soloist, Jessica Stair, a student at Mahomet Seymour, in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, as the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA Board of Directors and member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship from all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Remember to always do what's right.
Those handshakes and show of sportsmanship brought to you by Walgreens. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right Good Sportsmanship campaign. Even the Wheeling and Geneva fans, a lot of them have stuck around to see this one. Everybody wants to see these two heavyweights go at it. Who's going to come out number one? It's kind of the young against the experienced too, Coach, because Bolingbrook only starts one senior, whereas Whitney Young starts 4 seniors.
They're inside tandem are all seniors.
There you see the Dolphins huddle. Ashlee Anderson, the one facing us. She had a big game yesterday. Her mother came down to us after the game and said Ashlee has 3 games, an inside game, an outside game, and an outside game, because she can hit those long threes just like we saw in the previous game here tonight from Janelle Cannon.
Yeah, she's got a whole repertoire to go through.
All right, let's play some basketball for the 4A state championship in Illinois. Morgan Tuck, number 44 in white, will jump for Bolingbrook. Portia Harris, number 55, jumps it up for the Dolphins.
That's a key matchup.
They may re-jump that. I'm not sure that ball hit its apex on the way up here. Let's see. Nope, they're going to give it to the Dolphins.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that call, because both teams both touched the ball. It wasn't like one, and it should be open to get the ball for the Bolingbrook Raiders. Tony's trying to get an explanation on that too.
This is Chanise Jenkins, the ball handler here for the Dolphins. She's going to drive on Mass and Yelle. Good look inside for the cutter, and the lay-in there is good by Asque, Gillian Asque. We're going to see up-tempo basketball here tonight, and we're seeing it now on this break.
It's going right to the hole.
Perfect execution, and the freshman Morgan Tuck has her first points of the night. Jenkins against Massengale we've got out front here, Coach. That's a great matchup tonight.
Jenkins is a little more physical, and or Massengale is a little more physical, I'm sorry, and Jenkins a little quicker.
Nicossia Henry had that rebound again. The fast break transition move, no. Ball volleyball around. Grabbed by Satavia Taylor, and the senior can't get it. Well, look at him battle for that ball. We're going to see that all night tonight. Here comes Jenkins for Whitney Young. Off into the corner. Cara Smith connects.
Yeah, that's a big key. I think Whitney Young has more players that can score than Bolingbrook. That's an advantage for Young.
This is Tuck. She'll shoot and show her range, and that's dead center.
How about that?
A freshman with the inside and outside game. She averages 18.8 points per game and over 11 boards per game. I think she only got honorable mention All-State. How that happened, I don't know. She's on my first team. Here comes the steal. Bolingbrook with a breakaway, and that is Mercedes Griffin cashing in.
I'm not sure Coach Irvin wants Portia Harris outside playing point guard. That resulted in a turnover.
Bolingbrook up early, 7-4 here in the 4A title game. And the crowd definitely into this one early. Anderson doesn't get that one. She's a three-point specialist, though. Portia Harris can't get a shot off. Tuck's on her backside. Jenkins will try. Big shot for her. She had 25 points in that double overtime super sectional victory against Chicago Heights Marion and the big buzzer beater from half court.
And Chanise Jenkins is their one lone first team All-State player.
We're all tied up at 7 after that bomb. Mercedes Griffin gonna drive with it. Morgan Tuck puts it on the floor. Baseline move is perfect.
That's just great quickness for a girl her size.
Jenkins out front, still guarded by Massengale. Asque had it, gave it back to Jenkins. Now for Portia Harris. She faces up, puts the head fake on, and drives right around Tuck, but can't get the shot to go. But Anderson the rebound. Tuck was there on her backside and gets called for the shove. I believe it's on Tuck. Let's see here. Yes, it is.
That's a big key. We just, if Tuck gets in foul trouble, Bolingbrook's going to have a hard time inside in this game.
Corry Irvin and Anthony Smith, the two head coaches for our game tonight. And they know basketball. What programs they have. Ashlee Anderson missed her three-point attempt. Now she misses her free throw. It's always nice to hit one of those early shots, Coach, to kind of get that confidence going early.
Yeah, you want to make the short ones or free throws, get you off the snide a little bit, and gives you a chance to get right into the flow of the game.
Anderson, one of 3 players who averages in double figures for the Dolphins. There she's in the scoring book, and we've got a timeout on the floor. This will be a network break for our affiliates along the line. Timeout with Bolingbrook up 9-8 on Whitney Young. It's been an entertaining start to this championship game here, and Morgan Tuck, the freshman, has 7 of Bolingbrook's first 9 points, Coach. She's just tremendous.
Why not? I mean, I'd give the ball to her every time, too, down the floor. I mean, she's got a little outside shot. She goes to the basket. She's tough, but she does have to stay out of foul trouble.
She's almost unstoppable as a freshman. I can't imagine what she's going to be like in a couple years.
Well, that's why Steve Tucker from the Sun-Times, who's been around since 1970 covering girls basketball, said that she's one of the top 10 players he's ever seen in Illinois right now.
And you said she's already been part of a national championship team, right?
She played a national AAU championship team with 12s, and actually Antonia Davis's daughter played for the Bulls, was on that team too. But that was a terrific team, and quite a few players from right around Illinois and different schools right now played on that team. So a lot of young talent in Illinois.
And all these girls are used to playing in big games, and we certainly got a big one here. Tuck again from downtown. Oh my, 10 points already.
It's tough for Portia Harris to go outside and guard her. She wants to camp in that lane and just block shots and get rebounds. So they're going to have to, if she makes a couple more shots like that, they're really going to have to go out and guard her and take Portia away from their boards.
Chanise Jenkins trying to drive and create, but she's turned away. Now drives the other side of the floor. Here's Portia Harris working inside, banging.
Portia Harris inside is not the finisher that Tuck is. She's tough, she bangs, she gets rebounds and second chance, but she doesn't finish as well.
Turnover there by the Dolphins. Thought for a minute that whistle might go against Tuck, which would have been her second, but no, it was a turnover.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm watching in the game too, I'm watching Chanise Jenkins run around, and I'm watching Ariel Massengale have to guard her the whole time. And one of the keys that I thought was that Massengale, a lot of pressure on her being the only guard, and Whitney Young has 2 or 3 guards that can handle the ball. So it could make a difference. She gets tired near the end of the game.
Both these teams won state championships in recent years. Bolingbrook got its title in 2006. Whitney Young got its title last year. This is a rematch of last year's game. Mercedes Griffin on the dribble. Lost it momentarily, got it back. Nicossia Henry has it now, and will settle down the offense. Portia Harris and Morgan Tuck fighting position away from the ball. Fun to watch that. Tuck in a drive. And she kicks it out for the long-range shot by Griffin that won't go. Jenkins pushes it up the floor.
They both want to transition into their offense, get the ball down and get layups. This is a freshman right here. Nice little dish inside.
Yeah, that was Janae Thompson, backup point guard. Whitney Young has won 26 in a row. Their only loss to Indiana Heritage Christian. You told me, Coach, they were playing in the Indiana title game.
They were playing in the state championship. I didn't hear the final outcome, but now Whitney Young's got an advantage right now. They have 2 point guards on the floor, so they can really handle the ball.
Portia Harris surrounded when she got it down low. Here's Jenkins, Chanise in and out. Battle for the rebound out of bounds, and they will give it to the Raiders. The Raiders have won their last 14 games. All 4 of their losses came against out-of-state competition.
And they, like I said, they got second place in the national tournament in Phoenix, Arizona, in the Nike National Tournament.
Morgan Tuck showing her ball handling skills, but lost her balance and lost the ball. Anderson pushes it down the floor, and she did a jump step, and that'll be a traveling call, no doubt.
Yeah, she wanted to just go to the basket, and then she got cut off and had to dish the ball off, but took that little extra hop. In that tournament, several of the national coaches said that in the first 2 games, Ariel, Massengale, and Tuck played like they were seniors. And in the championship game, they just played like freshmen. So sometimes they're up and down being so young.
Massengale's been kind of quiet here in the early going, but she's guarded by the much taller Cara Smith. Second chance here coming up for Bolingbrook. Here's Massengale.
And the matchup right here, inside.
Massengale going to work here. Kicks it out for Askew. Mercedes Griffin on the drive. And crashing, and that'll be an offensive foul. Jenkins there, taking the charge. Let's check it out again. Let's see if Jenkins had position. And a little extracurricular activity there, the knee to the neck, and you can see why the Dolphin fans are not happy.
I don't think there's a lot of love lost between these 2 teams.
Yeah, I sense a little rivalry between these schools. Bolingbrook up 12-8. Jenkins with some tight pressure from Massengale, needs some help.
Looking for the 5-second call.
Portia Harris came out to give her help. Now she needs somebody to come out and get the ball. Janae Thompson with it now, driving, has an opening, but bad shot won't find the mark.
Ashlee Anderson with the recovery.
Portia Harris going in strong against the double team, too hard off the glass.
Just not the finisher inside.
Thompson couldn't get it to go. Again, the Dolphins with it, but it's taken away by Mercedes Griffin.
Griffin wants to run.
Nice bounce pass ahead, but Taylor can't get it to go, but there is Morgan Tuck one more time.
A little shove in the back on that, but that kind of went by the boards too. The referees didn't see that, but a good second chance opportunity by Taylor.
Tuck is 5 out of 6 from the floor, including a 3-pointer. She has 12 points in this first quarter. We got a 5-second call there, Coach.
A big matchup that you want to look for right here. You got Satavia Taylor, and she's got one of the 2 small guards, either Thompson on her or she's got Chanise Jenkins on her. And if they can isolate her in the post, there's 2 little guards from Whitney Young don't have much of a chance, because Whitney Young's still in their man-to-man defense. Well, now they've got to change.
Massengale takes it to the wing, now wants to go inside. Nice spin move, and yes. Pretty move. She made up her mind that time, I think, Coach. She was going to attack.
And she's bigger and more physical than the Whitney Young guards.
Massengale has her first points tonight. She averages 13.7 a game, had 18 points yesterday in the semis against Wheeling. Can't convert the three-point opportunity, and Portia Harris has the rebound. 36 seconds to go in the quarter.
I mean, that was just tremendous recognition that time by Bolingbrook on offense.
Anderson, left side, baseline is cut off there. Portia Harris gets it now. She goes strong against the double team.
Traveled, yep.
And officials kind of conferred with one another there for a moment, and it's a traveling call.
Portia Harris is trying to use her brute strength to go in, and she doesn't have a lot of finesse on it right now. And she's just taking those extra steps and trying to bowl people over. Usually get a little more finesse in there and take the ball to basket a little softer. Okay, now here you got Massengale, and she's being guarded by Jenkins. Last time I said the matchup would have been with Octavia Taylor. So Massengale's got a big advantage offensively. She's so much bigger and stronger.
Bolingbrook going for the last shot. And there it is by Satavia Taylor, cashing in for three. So Bolingbrook with a little run at the end of the first quarter leads it 19-8. We'll be back after this local timeout.
All right, we are back. It's a pretty commanding Bolingbrook lead after one quarter. We are with David and Lydia Tuck, Morgan and Taylor Tuck, their daughters. David, what's the secret, first of all? I've got two young daughters myself that still want to play basketball someday. Tell me the secret.
Start them early. Start them early. Pretty much in everything they did, they started early and always played girls older than they were. So you don't worry about them being successful early on. You worry about them being competitive. And they got there really early on in their age. So
Morgan is just mature beyond her years as far as playing. But I mean, we interviewed her after the game yesterday, and she's a better interview than a lot of college players.
You know, she's a good kid. I mean, she really is. She's an all-around good kid. She has a wonderful work ethic. So it's nice, and thank you for the compliment. But it's nice to see that come through.
And both good students. They owe that to their parents. All right. Congratulations. Good luck to you tonight. Thank you. Back over to you.
Underway now in the second quarter. Bolingbrook with a basketball. Coach Portia Harris, no points in that first quarter. Whitney Young needs to get her going, don't they?
Right, she was just trying to out-physical everybody, and she needs to get a little bit better touch. You know, we talked about the matchups and the fact that the two little guards from Whitney really couldn't guard Massengale or Taylor. Whitney's recognized that, and now they're in a zone defense trying to combat the fact that they're taking advantage of the size advantage on a couple of their little guards.
The Raiders trying to bring them out of that a little bit. Nicossia Henry has the ball right now for the Raiders. Massengale looking momentarily to Coach Smith. Now she put it on the floor, driving by Jenkins. Ball loose and out of bounds. It'll belong to Whitney Young. Our first quarter Menards stats say big money at Menards. Whitney Young 3 of 12 from the field. That explains part of the reason why they're trailing here. Whitney Young, though, leading on the boards 9-6.
Yeah, and Whitney Young came out and hit a couple of nice outside shots, but they're not getting much inside production right now at all.
Portia Harris facing up. She'll put up the 14-footer, too hard.
That's a shot Bolingbrook would love to see her take.
The Raiders on the run. Too hard off the glass by Massengale. Tuck the follow and a foul. Time for some NARA trivia. Our question of the night. Bolingbrook's fourth consecutive championship game appearance now ties an IHSA record held by whom? Carlisle, Marshall, East St. Louis, or Peoria Manuel? The first two girls teams, the second two boys teams.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, I think I even know that one.
That basket was just created by Morgan Tuck running the floor. And when you get a kid that can run the floor with her talent, it just makes up for a lot of mistakes your other players make.
She has her 13th point of the night. Bolingbrook up by 12. Chanise Jenkins directing the offense as she works against Massengale. Anderson comes out to get it. The running shot by Lakita Carter is good. Massengale throws it ahead for Tuck. Again, she shows she can handle the basketball. Massengale launches. Off the mark. Rebound controlled there by Laquita Carter. Jenkins looking ahead for Anderson. Dead end there. Jenkins the runner in the key. No. And the rebound out of bounds, it'll belong still to the Dolphins. The answer to our NAR trivia question is D. Peoria Manual. The boys appeared in and won 4 consecutive state titles there in the 90s. Of course, this NAR trivia question brought to you by the National Association of Realtors. And they want you to know that home ownership is an investment in your future. Now, those Manual teams were something. 10-point lead for Bolingbrook. They're trying to add to that as Massengale takes it hard inside.
She just physically went right around and just powered up on Chanise Jenkins. Not a good matchup for Whitney Young.
Jenkins hands it off to Anderson. Garner on the drive, throws it inside. One of the Raiders got a hand on it. Well, Anthony Smith there has to be happy, the Bolingbrook coach, the way this thing's going so far. Jenkins out front, works around a Portia Harris pick. She's open. Shot will not go. Here come the Raiders.
Oh, and they got a 3-on-1 breakout.
Portia Harris, the lone defender. The pull-up shot will not fall for Nicossia Henry. The follow-up won't either. But Tuck's going to go back to the line.
That was just a bad decision by Nicossia Henry. She had 2 players under the basket, including Tuck open. But when you got Tuck under there, second chance points, she just gobbled up the glass, and there you go.
Yeah, Bolingbrook really has that transition game going right now.
Well, we had a pretty good team in '88, and I had a center that could run the floor. She was faster than anybody, any big kid you could find. When you got a big kid that will run the floor and get down, you can see how many just easy little chippy points they get. Like Massengale gets the ball up, takes a shot, and misses. But you got Tuck right there to get the rebound because she hustles and gets down the floor. That's what you call a player.
Such a well-rounded game for Tuck. 3 of 4 at the free throw line. What's her weakness, Coach?
I don't know. Maybe she's just too old. I don't know.
14 years old. She has 15 of Bolingbrook's 24 points. Portia Harris across the floor. Shot challenged. Garner's shot was challenged. Bolingbrook trying to run with it, but they lost it off their shoe out of bounds. Got a timeout here in the second quarter. Bolingbrook up by 14. It's a local timeout for our affiliates on the IHSA television network. But Daryl, we talked earlier about Whitney Young's only loss this year was to Indianapolis Heritage Christian. And Heritage Christian, we have found out today, won the Indiana State Championship, 4th consecutive 2A title. Both these teams played Heritage Christian. Whitney Young losing to them by just a bucket, and then Bolingbrook knocking off Heritage Christian.
Yeah, that's Heritage Christian's a pretty good team over there. They're predominantly a senior team, but Bolingbrook did a little bit better job than Whitney Young. When I said that Tuck was too old, what I meant is some states let you play when you're like in 6th or 7th grade or in middle school, so you can start playing high school basketball. And in Illinois, you can only play 4 years. So she still has a chance to set a lot of records, but if she started playing when she was in 7th grade, she'd probably hold everyone Illinois has.
Jenkins' driving shot was no good. Here come the Raiders again, pushing it down the floor. Massengale gonna lay it up. No good. Tuck fighting for the rebound, couldn't corral it. And the Dolphins come away with it. Bolingbrook doing a good job getting back on defense. Jenkins can't get the shot to fall. Now the Raiders push it back the other way. Massengale here. And her pass is intercepted by Jenkins. Portia Harris trying to get in the scoring books tonight, and she finally does get her first hoop.
That time she just remained on balance, didn't try to bowl anybody over, and was able to put the ball right in the basket.
Bolingbrook shooting 50% from the field so far. Whitney Young struggling at 23% from the field.
And Young staying in their zone.
The Raiders say, fine, we'll just hang out here and make you come out of that.
And these days, you don't have to come out. Back when Marshall beat New Trier for the state championship, that was on a play where they didn't come out. There was a rule you had to come out whether you were even losing the game. It made a big difference, but now you don't have to.
The long pass for Anderson, she couldn't come up with it, but it was last touched by the Raiders. Mercedes Griffin got back there on defense, got a hand on it. Some pretty good defense being played by Bolingbrook, surrendering just 12 points in this first half so far.
Ashlee Anderson tried to throw the ball off of the back of Bolingbrook player and then come in and get it. But obviously she's the one that got the ball, so Bolingbrook's going to get it now. Can't throw it to yourself.
Whitney Young showing some pressure in the backcourt, now pulling off.
She tried the old okey-doke play.
Massengale calls out a play. Nicossia Henry looking. Off to Tuck. Over the defense and into the corner. Mercedes Griffin will try it right there.
That's a weakness of that zone defense in the corner. Mercedes Griffith's had a wide open look at the basket and knocked it down.
Whitney Young needs to get something going here. Jenkins trying to make something happen, and she traveled with it. Corry Irvin wants to talk it over with her Dolphins right now. She doesn't like what she's seeing right now at all on the floor.
Well, we'll talk a little bit at halftime about the difference between coaching a team like Bolingbrook and Whitney Young and coaching a team like Geneva or maybe even Wheeling or Maine West or something like that if we get a chance.
A reminder, next week the fun continues in Peoria with the boys state tournament. The 1A and 2A boys take the court at the Civic Center next weekend, and in 2 weeks the 3A and 4A boys basketball tournament will be played.
John Cyprian out there, who's a terrific referee, and his sister was an all-state guard at Maine South, undefeated, ranked #1 the entire season back in 1985, and he's a good referee. And Tony Moss is out here too. His wife Linda was a girls basketball coach at Hershey High School, did a great job and won a lot of games, a lot of championships over at Hershey. So these referees are in a lot of tradition. It's interesting to know those things.
And it's an honor for them to be selected to work some of these state games here.
Those are two of the best referees that I've had all year.
Remember, you can catch all of the state tournament action, boys and girls, at foxjocks.com. Live streaming action. Only a computer away. The Raiders inbound, and Morgan Tuck's going to bring it ahead until Massengale comes to retrieve it. Bolingbrook could really put some distance between them and the Dolphins here going into the locker room.
Well, Whitney Young staying in their zone defense, and I don't think they're much used to playing a zone. They like to play that man-to-man pressure defense, and it just makes a difference when you're not used to doing something. You come to a championship game.
Massengale works it quickly over to Henry. Massengale again penetrates. Kicks it out to Taylor, and the senior shot won't go, and Portia Harris snares the rebound.
And they took that corner shot twice in a row because it's pretty open, but they covered up a little better that time.
Janae Thompson has it. The 5'6" freshman penetrates. And the shot again is challenged. Cara Smith off the mark there.
And she came back to her right hand. If she'd have gone up left-handed, she probably would have made that shot. She brought the ball right back to the defense.
Massengale lobs it down low for Satavia Taylor, who converts. She's the one senior in the starting five for Bolingbrook, Satavia Taylor.
And she'll be going to Loyola next year.
A 16-point Bolingbrook lead. Running shot won't drop for Janae Thompson. Here comes Bolingbrook 3-on-1 here. Nicossia Henry up, no. Rebound snatched down by Griffin. No good. And Janae Thompson coming the other way. She'll put it up and in. Nicely done over Taylor.
That's not a freshman-like move.
The tempo is definitely turned up here. Ball loose on the floor. Anderson trying to come away with it for the Dolphins. And it will belong to the Dolphins. Well, if you like up-tempo basketball, we've got it for you here. Final minute of this first half, the girls 4A state championship game from Normal's Redbird Arena at Illinois State University. Thompson puts it up. No good. Raiders running again. Massengale against Jenkins. Blows right by Jenkins and lays it in. And the foul on Jenkins. That was speed on speed there.
That was a great speed, but also strength.
The youngsters getting the job done again here for Bolingbrook. Tuck, the freshman, is 15. Massengill, the sophomore, is 6. She's looking to add to that.
And we talked about all the young point guard stars in Illinois, and of course these two are both sophomores, Massengill and Jenkins.
Chanise Jenkins with a basketball. 30-14, Bolingbrook in command to this point. Portia Harris faces up on Tuck. Tuck solid defensively, challenges that shot by Jenkins. Raiders break the double team. Massengill pushes it down the floor. The bounce pass batted away by Anderson. Bolingbrook gets it back, and another foul against the gals in the orange.
Sometimes you just have to have a little bit of luck. You got to be in the right place at the right time, and that's what happened here.
Checking out the action again here as Mercedes Griffin goes up for it. Bolingbrook is out rebounding Whitney Young, 21-15.
Bolingbrook's done a little bit better job in transition offense than Whitney Young also. They've gotten some easy shots, getting some easy putbacks off of transition.
Bolingbrook has 9 points, or rather 16 points in the paint. And she launched that a little prematurely there before the buzzer. And so we have reached halftime. Anthony Smith up off the Raider bench applauding his gals as they have played super here in this first half of this 4A title game, leading it 31-14. A surprise margin there. Look at Anthony Smith in there firing up his girls as if they need any more of it. We're going to take a network timeout. When we come back, we'll salute the consolation game teams from earlier, Geneva and Wheeling. We'll be right back here at Redbird Arena.
At this time, let's meet the Vikings of Geneva High School, who finished the season in 4th place with a final record of 32 wins and 2 losses. First meet, the superintendent, Dr. Kent Muchler. Principal Tom Rogers. Athletic Director Jim Kafer. Athletic Trainer Bill Durand. Head Coach Gina Nolan. Assistant Coach Katie Steely. Assistant Coach Sarah Meadows. Assistant Coach Steve Whitman. And Assistant Coach Megan Owens. And now the Vikings players, Brooke Binette. Emily Hinchman. Paige Wassel. Kat Yelle. Katelyn Allen. Sam Dudman. Sammy Scofield. Taylor Whitley. Myra Yelle. Kelly Whitley. Jeannie Cummings. Alison Clemmons. Lauren Wasinski. Doni Maihack. And Kelsey Augustine. At this time, please meet the Wildcats of Wheeling High School, who finished the season in third place with a final record of 33 wins and 2 losses. First meet the principal, Lazaro Lopez. The assistant principal for student activities, Steve May. Athletic trainer, Rocco Thierry. Head coach, Shelley Weigel. Assistant coach, Jalissa Hernandez. Assistant coach, Derek Swarzak. Manager, Quintella Coleman. And the Wildcat players, Tori Menelle. Chloe Mikowski. Amanda Greiter. Tiffany Meier. Samie Spinabella. Heather Hancock. Bridgette Gray. Selma Smajlovic. Bianca Szafarowicz. Alix Webber. Kellie Kuzmanic. Larissa Aguero. Janelle Cannon. Stephanie Kuzmanic. And Ashlee Wilson. And now will Coach Nolan and the captains of Geneva High School please step forward to receive the Class 4A 4th place trophy. And now will Coach Weigel and the captains of Wheeling High School please step forward and receive the Class 4A 3rd place trophy. Wheeling fans, there will be a trophy presentation pep rally at 9:15 on Monday at the high school. Once again, Wheeling fans, trophy presentation pep rally, 9:15 a.m. on Monday at the school.
All right, our congratulations to Wheeling with the 3rd place trophy, and to Geneva as well on a great season for both schools. Coach, our congratulations to both of them.
Yeah, and they have to enjoy it. They came down there, they got to play all the way through, and they're going home with great seasons and going home with trophies.
And again, we talked about this a lot last week when we had 4 teams in 1A that had never been here before. There's a couple of schools that have never been to state before, so the proponents of 4A basketball or 4-class basketball are saying, look, it's working. More schools are getting involved and getting a chance.
Yeah, it's great. More kids are down here, more parents are down here, and more people get to experience it.
All right, let's talk first half. There's not much to say other than Bolingbrook rules, right?
I say after that first half, you got to wonder, is there a team on the planet that can beat Bolingbrook? I don't know. It was unbelievable. They didn't miss. They dominated inside defensively and shut Whitney Young down.
All right, it's all Bolingbrook in the first half, of course. That's why they play 32 minutes. Back after this local timeout. Welcome back to our National Association of Realtors halftime show. The NAR wants you to know that home ownership is an investment in your future. When ready to buy or sell a home, contact a realtor, a member of the NAR. All Bolingbrook first half, 31-14, only 6 field goals for Whitney Young in that first half. Tom McKenna, as we take a look at our Menards halftime stats, say big money at Menards. The numbers don't lie, do they?
The good news for Whitney Young is they really can't shoot any worse, and I think if they're just patient, they just cut that lead down to about 9 going in the final quarter, then they'd have a shot at it. Bad news for Bolingbrook is, can they shoot any better?
Right.
You know, was halftime their enemy.
And I think a key, Coach, we don't have an exact number before us, but second chance points for Whitney Young, only 4. That number has got to go higher for them, I would think, for them to have a chance in the second half, because they rely a lot on second chance points. As we take a look at the leading scorers, Morgan Tuck, what a great first half. But getting back to that point about second chance points.
Well, they have to get Harris a lot more involved. She had 2 turnovers on walks. I think she was 1 for 6 here. Yeah, they definitely have to get inside and make it happen.
We'll see if the Dolphins can get back in this one. It's all Bolingbrook at the half, back after this local timeout.
"16 minutes of basketball yet to play. Let's check out our first half highlights in this one. Many of them in favor of Bolingbrook, as you might expect, due to the score. Shot there is up and in by Chanise Jenkins. And then the steal here by Mercedes Griffin. Left her with the bunny lay-in. Portia Harris finding the hoop there. But she had a quiet first half, 1 of 6 from the field. And Bolingbrook hitting its shots as Morgan Tuck was spectacular in that first half. Satavia Taylor, the senior, converting for 2. And then Janae Thompson with a nice little teardrop there. And so, Coach, 17-point spread. I didn't expect 17-point spread at this juncture.
Well, it's got to do with the shooting, and Whitney Young is not getting good shots at the basket. Their shot selection is poor. And they're not getting Ashlee Anderson involved outside with that outside shot. So it's pretty tough to score when you're, not getting to the rim and you're not shooting the outside shot at all.
All right, second half coming up after this network timeout on the IHSA television network. Back at Redbird Arena, the Morgan Tuck fans there for Bolingbrook. Whitney Young will have the ball as we open this third quarter.
And they need the ball.
Coach, they attempted Whitney Young only 2 free throws in that first half.
Yeah, Bolingbrook's playing outstanding defense.
A good start there from Chanise Jenkins as she takes it to the hoop.
Well, sometimes when you get a lead like this, you get complacent and let the other team right back in the ballgame. We'll see how Bolingbrook handles the fact that they're ahead in this game, and was supposed to be a little closer, and it even is.
Massengill against the double team down low, couldn't get it off. Anderson the outlet for Jenkins. Jenkins on the drive, nice bounce pass, with shots off the mark there. And it'll belong to the Raiders. Key players so far tonight, Jenkins with only 3 points for Whitney Young, and Tuck, of course, having a great first half with 15.
And just running the floor, getting the rebounds, making the outside 3. She's doing it all.
Pressure from Whitney Young, they just lob it into Tuck. Massengill is guarded out front. Handoff to Griffin, and now Tuck launches. No good. Anderson couldn't come up with a rebound.
Now we've got the matchup inside.
Tuck spins, nowhere to go.
But you got the bigger girl on Massengill, the smaller girl on Octavia.
Long shot, nothing but net for Nicossia Henry. Jenkins working ahead, goes around the Portia Harris pick, down the right side of the lane, shot rejected by Tuck.
From behind.
Let's take another look at that. Morgan Tuck, all ball.
A lot of shot blockers like to let somebody go by him and then block the ball from behind.
Tuck bounces it for Harris, who turns. Spin move, nicely done, but a travel. And they challenge her every shot, making it hard on her.
Yeah, Portia Harris is just having a hard time inside. She's just trying to do a little bit too much.
Inbound to Tuck, she'll bring it ahead herself. Anderson got a hand in there, disrupted her, and that creates the turnover. Coach, you were telling me off the air at halftime what a difference it is coaching these caliber of teams like we're watching right now. What's the big difference here?
When you have caliber of teams like this, like almost like an AAU team, or a college team, you're looking at matchups. And the matchups on this floor right now are favoring Bolingbrook because of strength and size. And defensively, Whitney Young just can't defend every player on that team. And if you look at the matchups, Bolingbrook's got a big advantage in a lot of different ways. Size with the point guard, strength with the point guard. Tuck is matching Portia Harris. Got the size. Portia Harris can't go to the basket like she did in the earlier games. And, you know, the other kids they can't really put two small point guards in like they'd like to. Whitney Young's come back with two small guards, and it really gives a big advantage to either Massengale or Octavia.
Tuck was just whistled for that foul. Janae Thompson, number 11, has returned to the game for Whitney Young.
Now they're small. That's why college teams like to have big point guards if they can get them.
Chanise Jenkins having a hard time driving on Massengale. Thompson works down low, bounce pass, headed out of bounds. Last touch by Whitney Young.
Yeah, they just look for the matchup, the size matchup, the strength matchup, and they take advantage. If you're a small point guard in there, they can post up their point guard inside on you. Makes a big difference.
Satavia Taylor inbounds to Tuck. Anderson's on her. And they get it to the middle of the floor. Mercedes Griffin to the hoop. Rejected by Portia Harris. Ashlee Anderson finds Thompson.
Griffin is doing a nice job on Anderson, just not letting her get loose on the outside to get those outside spot-up shots.
Thompson not bashful about trying the inside, but that shot's off the backboard. Whitney Young, though, maintains possession. Jenkins, the quick release for three, and she's got it. Jenkins has 8 points in the game. Tuck going to drive the baseline on Harris. That's cut off by Harris nicely. And the steal by Anderson and a foul call. We'll go against Bolingbrook. (34-19). Bolingbrook still in command here in the third quarter. Timeout on the floor. It's a local timeout here on the IHSA network.
This is really poor.
Back at Redbird Arena, Bolingbrook still up 15. The Whitney Young fans trying to get things going here. We are with Marcus Jordan. Yeah, you probably heard of his dad, but we're not going to talk about dad right now. We want to talk about that big Whitney Young win over Fenwick last night.
It was pretty good. They came out and played pretty hard, but we played a little harder than them, and we got the W.
We want to see you in Peoria this year. What do we got to get? What do we got to do? How much more do we got to go?
We got 3 more games to get downstate. We're just going to take it a game at a time.
How about, we know Jeffrey's over at Illinois now. He's finally got a scholarship, thank goodness, so he can pay for school. Are you going to get over to Indianapolis for that?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to. I saw him yesterday, and I told him the best of luck. So, yeah, I'm going to try and make it.
All right, well, it's good to see you here. We got to get your Dolphins going, though.
Yeah, we're going to try to.
All right, 2 weeks in Peoria. I'll be there, all right?
Yes, sir. I'll see you.
All right, good to see you. Tell Dad hello. All right. That's Marcus Jordan. His girls team going here.
Yep, a Jordan in the house tonight. The Dolphins on offense trying to get something going here. Thompson on the penetration for Portia Harris. won't go, and Tuck skies for the rebound and gets surrounded immediately.
Sure she's not related to Jordan? There might be two in the house.
Well, we've seen some terrific female basketball players in this state recent years. Candace Parker and Mika Catchings, and her name might go right down there with some of those ladies before it's all said and done for her, huh?
It will at the end. And Nora Lewis, I think, is one of the toughest players ever in the state. Won 2 national championships at Louisiana State from Peoria Ritzwoods. Held the state scoring record for quite a few years.
Massengale out at half court with the dribble. Thompson picks her up. Nicossia Henry penetrating. Anderson cuts her off. Now she goes by Anderson, and she traveled.
Well, she just anticipated that Morgan Tuck was going to go to the basket, and she faded instead of dropping to the hole. That's just like an unforced turnover, and that just drives coaches crazy, but just a little miscommunication.
Bolingbrook has 10 turnovers now, each team with 10 turnovers. Double team there on Jenkins.
They trapped her.
Yep, and here's the steal by the Raiders. Nicossia Henry gives it up for Massengale, and she just muscles her way inside.
There's 2 ways you can play that top screen. You can either go under it, or you can trap it, or you can go over it. Actually, there's 3 ways, and what Bolingbrook did there is they came off, they just trapped it.
The 2 head coaches there, both with state championships on their resumes in recent seasons. One of them will get another state title here tonight. Bolingbrook continuing to add to its lead, 35-19. Massengale has 8 points now. Ashlee Anderson will bring it ahead.
As I say, Griffin's done a terrific job on her this time.
Anderson with the jets to the hole, too hard to rebound Bolingbrook. And Bolingbrook and Mercedes Griffin off and running.
Numbers. Just pulled it out.
A lot of cutting and screens being set by the Raiders. Moving well without the basketball. Satavia Taylor gives it up to Tuck. See Anthony Smith there up directing his offense. Tuck with the drive. Nicossia Henry will shoot. That's off the mark. And Jenkins will bring it ahead now for the Dolphins.
No numbers, and she just pulls it out.
Thompson, the drive got hacked on the arm. Janae Thompson is a freshman getting some valuable experience down here. They say it takes experience to win these big games or to get to the state level, but there's no substitute for talent.
You have to have talent, you got to have experience, and you have to have a lot of good teammates too. You can't do it by yourself.
Mariah King has come into the game now for Whitney Young, number 15. She's a 6'2" senior. Whitney Young needs to make every free throw count. And that one does for Thompson.
Yeah, if they can get this down into single digits in the 4th quarter, they might have a pretty good opportunity to come back. But if they let this slip away and Bolingbrook keeps the lead 15-16, it's going to be awfully tough for Whitney Young to have an opportunity to catch up in the 4th quarter.
Massengale is being guarded by Anderson now. She was guarded by Jenkins in the first half.
Right there on that pick, Whitney Young didn't hedge and they didn't trap. They just kind of let her go.
Now Jenkins is back on her. Tuck, what will she do? She'll send it back out. Massengale driving. Raiders showing good patience, not trying to rush or force anything. Tuck drives on Harris. And the steal there by Thompson, and she is fouled. Mercedes Griffin with the shove.
Yeah, it's just Bolingbrook was over on that sidelines, and the sidelines just like an extra defender over there, and they didn't have much room to work.
Well, Bolingbrook has been in control of this game right from the get-go. It was 9-8 at one point in the first quarter, but they went on a 10-0 run after that, led 19-8 at the end of the first quarter. Bolingbrook led 31-14 at the half, so they've been comfortably in control through most of this game.
Well, Whitney Young needs to get a little score, maybe a little stop, maybe a couple of scores here by the next minute and a half.
Portia Harris defended nicely, got the ball off though. Thompson with a runner over Tuck, that's a tough shot.
Yeah, she's taken about 4 or 5 of those little runners, and she got bailed out on one, made one, but she's missed 4 or 5 of those.
Massengale will set up the offense. Hand checked by Jenkins, who can't get the steal. Mercedes Griffin going hard off the mark.
She couldn't finish.
Here comes Chanise Thompson, finds Portia Harris. Instead of going hard to the hoop, she pulls up for that one, and Tuck corrals the loose ball. Satavia Taylor has it for the Raiders. Final minute of this third quarter. The Raiders spread the court. Taylor gives it right back to Massengale. And again to Taylor. And they're going to apparently be content with taking the last shot. Massengale spins and drives. Kick pass for Taylor. Heavy pressure by Jenkins there. Taylor gets it inside. Nicossia Henry spin move and good.
That was just a beautiful move with the left hand.
Talk about execution. A great job by Bolingbrook to wrap up the third quarter. They lead by 16 as we take this local timeout. Our third quarter stats are brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Yeah, the shooting woes for Whitney Young continue, shooting 22% from the field tonight. Rebounds in favor of Bolingbrook, 29-22. Not too many trips to the free throw line tonight, especially for Whitney Young. That was a low-scoring third quarter as Bolingbrook outscored Whitney Young 7-6 in that third quarter.
Bolingbrook's controlling the paint. Whitney Young's not able to score inside, and Whitney Young really hasn't made any outside shots to speak of except for Chanise Jenkins, a couple of long threes.
It's an 18-point gap as we enter the final quarter here at Redbird Arena. And the Dolphins need to get a quick start to this quarter to try to have any chance of climbing back into this thing. Tuck hands it off to Massengale, who goes right to the bucket and rejected. Clean block there. Thompson sends it ahead to Anderson, and she walked. A little anxious there. She saw an opening to the hole. Let's look at this block again. You won't see a better block than this. Massengale going in with the bigs, and Portia Harris right there.
She was too far underneath the basket when she had to reach back. It was a pretty easy block for the big people.
Bolingbrook up by 18 and in possession of the basketball. Satavia Taylor hands to Massengale. She's double teamed. A lot of reaching going on there as Whitney Young's trying to create some turnovers. This is a point of the game with this scenario where a little frustration could set in for the Dolphins here. They've got a large hole to dig out of. Inbound for Tuck.
Well, Whitney Young puts a lot of good pressure on the inbounds, but then they just lob it up to Tuck and get it in pretty easily.
Tuck did not score in that third quarter. Satavia Taylor out front with it. Now Tuck sends it back out front as they spread out the offense again. Mercedes Griffin on the drive into the paint, lost the ball. Anderson the other way with it. Ahead for Harris, and she could not handle it.
Whitney Young cannot afford unforced turnovers like that. I think Bolingbrook's just trying to take a little time off the clock and maybe get to the free throw line, maybe get a nice easy layup.
Definitely a sense of urgency right now for Whitney Young. Massengill on the dribble drive, and again she'll bring it out, being chased by Jenkins. The Raiders spread the court, and I just said, Coach, they don't mind taking some more time off the clock here. Taylor looking at the ref for that 5-second count. Tuck against Harris here. Going baseline, and Harris was riding her side and gets whistled.
I mean, what an advantage to have someone that your center guarded by a little slower person that can put the ball on the floor, go to the basket, get the outlet pass whenever you need it, get the ball in bounds, has a nice wingspan, be able to get up, they can throw the ball up to her, takes away the possibility of traps.
Massengill getting pressured now on the double team, fights between the two big players, and she gets another foul call to go her way. That might be on Harris also.
That's just a perfect step through. And Portia Harris was just trying to close the trap, and when you get the step through, someone tries to close the trap, a little bit of a push, and you get the foul called.
Portia Harris has 4 fouls on her. Tuck again, double teamed. Works around Harris that time on the dribble and lost it. Harris fighting for it. Bolingbrook comes away with it. Cara Smith getting it out to Harris. No numbers there, but Harris going to take it strong to the hoop and in. And a reach-in foul there by Chanise Jenkins.
That's another matchup problem for them. Chanise Jenkins, about 5'2", and got Octavia there. She's about what, 6 foot, 5'11". Just throw the ball up and you're able to get it in pretty easily.
Bolingbrook walks to the free throw line. The Raiders are 6 of 10 at the line tonight.
Octavia Taylor, she just done a nice job of just hanging out, getting the open shots, getting the open rebounds, doing things that are just team play.
Taylor with a lot of arch on that free throw, and it's good.
Posted up inside a couple times against the smaller Whitney Young guards.
6 points now. She's close to her average of 8 a game for this season. 40-22, Bolingbrook asserting itself in this game. This is a Whitney Young team that came into this game with a record of 33-1. That one loss was to the Indiana state champion by a bucket. And we got a timeout called here by Whitney Young. 5:11 to go in the game. Bolingbrook in command. We'll take this local timeout at Redbird Arena. And there's our Walgreens picture-perfect moment of the evening. Outstanding young lady there enjoying the game. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right Good Sportsmanship campaign. She's having a good time with that pom-pom.
Yeah. And we talked about Octavia Taylor doing some nice things in the game and getting involved and doing a lot of little things. If Octavia Taylor was playing at Maine West High School, she'd average 18 to 20 points a game. Here, she's averaging 8 points a game. But, you know, she's a team member, and she does a nice job, and they got some other players that score more, but just shows you the kind of talent that Bolingbrook actually has.
Satavia Taylor, an outstanding talent indeed. Whitney Young, maybe it's three-point time. Ashlee Anderson's the girl who can hit him, but not there. Second try. That will not go for Jenkins. Portia Harris battles for the rebound and scores. Well, we're going to see some frenzied basketball here as Whitney Young tries everything and anything, but Massengill breaks the press.
5-on-1. Pretty good advantage there. Whitney Young just did not get back on defense.
Sadie's Griffin has 2 more. She has 7 in the game. Portia Harris has it batted away.
Sadie's Griffin again.
Griffin gonna race to the hoop and uncontested lays it in. So the Raiders are just doing it all, folks. 44-24, unbelievable.
I mean, that's another girl that maybe won't get all the headlines, but defensively, she's done an awesome job on Ashlee Anderson.
The Raiders are trying to leave absolutely no doubt as to who's #1 in the state of Illinois. Yelle tried to get it over half court, lost it. Tuck picked it up, and she is fouled on the reach in there by Cara Smith. Tuck had 15 points in the first half. She has yet to score in the second half, but they really have not needed her to score here.
No, but she's been an outlet. She's been an outlet for a lot of passes and taking care of the ball for them.
We've got a timeout. Let's take this network break.
And we are back at Redbird Arena. All Bolingbrook, 44-24. And you know, we talked about the players and the team being here 4 straight years in the state championship, 5 years in a row. These fans have been here 4 years in a row, haven't you, Donnie?
Baby, 4 years. All 4 years we've been in the state title game, and it's really nice to go out with the win if we can pull this one out.
All right, Donnie's confident. I don't know. I think it's a good look for me. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I give that 2 thumbs up, Lee.
Yeah, well, Donnie, I hope that Bolingbrook can pull this one out. It might be tough for him, but I think he's got a pretty good shot of seeing a winner here.
I'd feel pretty confident if I were a Bolingbrook fan at this stage of the game. Peoria Richwoods earlier today won the Class 3A championship, defeating Freeport, and it looks like Bolingbrook is just 3 minutes and change away from wrapping up the 4A title. Morgan Tuck puts in her 16th and 17th points of the night. Well, let's see if the Dolphins start launching a few threes here. Anderson can hit them. She'll go inside to Harris, and she is just challenged every time she gets the ball. Whitney Young loses it out of bounds.
And again, they're trying to get the ball to Ashlee Anderson for some threes, but she's just being defended really well over there by Griffin.
You know, I asked Bolingbrook's coach Anthony Smith on Thursday what the keys were for his team this weekend. He said defense, 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 and that's what his team's done all weekend. Played a lot of D. They spread the floor. Yelle penetrates. Satavia Taylor gives it up for Henry. Henry on the drive. Again, they're just running some clock here. It's a great job of execution. A lot of, whoops, as I say that, it goes off Yelle's foot, but a lot of teams, when they try to run clock like this, they have a hard time, wind up turning the ball over.
Well, the difference between a lot of teams and Bolingbrook is that every player on the floor has ball skills. They can all handle the ball. They can dribble with their right hand. They can dribble with their left hand. And if you pass to one person in a position to be in a little bit of trouble, they can put the ball on the floor and get to an option. And everyone in there can move. Everyone is an option.
And again, we're talking about a Bolingbrook team with 1 senior in its starting 5. They lost 3 seniors from last year's team that played here in the title game. They just reloaded and apparently got even better. So it's just 1 senior in their starting 5. And I see 2 seniors total on the Bolingbrook roster. These young ladies could easily be back here next year.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for them to come back, I would say.
Janae Thompson with some fancy ball handling. Portia Harris will put up the little shot. That has to make her feel a little better.
Peoria Richwoods, who won the 3A, has got their top 2 players back too, and pretty young teams.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Richwoods today. They played outstanding in that Freeport game.
Mariah Smith and Katie Murphy really lead that team.
Just over 2 minutes to go in this one. Get those trophies ready to hand out. Ball out of bounds will belong to Bolingbrook. And the Bolingbrook fans certainly know it. The student section up, they're dancing, they're swinging their towels around. They're singing. They're ready to do some celebrating tonight.
And I don't think that Coach Irvin can say that they beat themselves tonight. They were just beaten by a better team. Bolingbrook executed so well, but you can't take anything away from Whitney Young.
And Bolingbrook, not only the top team in the state, but they've got to be one of the top 5 teams in the nation, perhaps.
They're rated pretty high in the national polls. Whitney Young was also rated.
Again, a great job of execution, running clock, spreading the offense here by the Raiders. Satavia Taylor going to go to the basket, an opening there for her, and she lays it in. So they can do no wrong tonight. A minute to go before Bolingbrook is crowned the state champion. Portia Harris will go to the line. Harris and Jenkins each have 8 points to lead Whitney Young in scoring tonight. Tuck's the only Raider in double figures with 17, although Griffin and Taylor each have 9. Massengill has 8, Henry has 8, so pretty balanced for Bolingbrook overall.
Yeah, they are pretty balanced. Coach McKenna in the halftime show was just talking about the balance that they have and the fact that Whitney Young's got to get more scoring. And they just haven't gotten the scoring on the outside they needed.
Love those Raider fans we just saw there, got a glimpse of those 2 gentlemen there. Kind of a cross between the Blues Brothers, ZZ Top, and a couple of Pirates. Well, it's all academic now. It's just a matter of what will the final score be. Still battling for the ball. Portia Harris going to drive around Tuck. And she's caught for the travel again. A frustrating night for the All-Stater. In fact, she was the leading vote getter in the All-State voting, Portia Harris was. This will be her last high school game. She'll move on to Purdue. And we'll follow her from there. Jenkins gets called for the travel. Well, they say defense wins championships, and this Bolingbrook team can certainly play defense.
Yeah, they can do a lot of things.
Whitney Young still putting on the pressure. We got a timeout called here. Well, we'll see if the teams clear their benches here to get some of these other ladies into the championship game, and that's exactly what will happen. Anthony Smith took timeout, and he's going to make wholesale substitutions here. There's our fans. You gotta love that. You're never too old to be a high school basketball fan. Hey, don't forget next week, folks, right here on the IHSA Network, Boys State Tournament Basketball from Peoria. The boys 1A and 2A state championships are next weekend. Then the 3A and 4A teams will take the court 2 weeks from now. So a whole lot more fun to come here on the IHSA Network. Well, the Dolphin going to go home with the second place trophy tonight. But he's a proud Dolphin, proud of his team. Everybody looking up at the big board overhead here at Redbird Arena, seeing themselves, knowing that they're on the IHSA TV network. Never anything too easy. Well, it's looked kind of easy tonight for Bolingbrook.
Yeah, Bolingbrook's just had their way most of the game.
Yeah, lots of substitutions now. Sharon East Williams, they call her Cha-Cha. She's into the game now, number 40 for Bolingbrook. Taylor Tuck, number 15, is on the floor. Number 24, Fallon Edwards, also on the court. And number 10, Ashley Oliver. So they can all say they played in the state championship game. That's Fallon Edwards who drew the foul, number 24. Whitney Young has Candace Kennedy, number 00 on the floor. Number 34, Gillian Asque is checked in. Well, we thought we were going to see a close contest tonight, and it was only close for about the first 4 minutes of the game. Since then, it has been all Bolingbrook.
And they did a nice job of taking away the second chance points that Whitney Young had against Geneva.
Kiana Johnson taking it to the hoop. Out of bounds, it's a turnover. Coach Anthony Smith's going to get his second state championship. Won one here in 2006, going to get another one. 20 seconds and counting. Raisha Blair's into the game for Bolingbrook. Out of bounds on that play, so it turns it over to Whitney Young. Jeroma Webb is also into the game for Whitney Young, number 31. Kiana Johnson giving it up. Candace Kennedy will shoot it. She scores, so Kennedy gets in the scoring column, and that's going to do it. The Bolingbrook Raiders are your Class 4A Illinois state champions.
And well deserved.
They leave no doubt here, 53-29. They brought not only their A game, but their A+ game. Love the celebration scenes after these games. The hugs. Nothing but happiness there for the Raiders. Few tears of happiness even. Cara Smith there celebrating with her teammates. Or, I'm sorry, Chanise Williams.
You had the two sisters hugging, and no, after we won the state championship in '88, we had our two sisters hugging, and it's a picture that you'll have for the rest of your life, and it was one of the best ones.
So they'll take a couple minutes here to set up the tables and the trophies, and they will hand out the trophies and the medals to the girls. Never anything too easy, huh? It was so easy for Bolingbrook here tonight. So they do get revenge. It was a rematch of last year's state championship game. Whitney Young won it last year. It was a much closer game than this one. Bolingbrook, though, comes back this year to get the title. Morgan Tuck led Bolingbrook with 17 points and 8 rebounds and some good defense as well.
Morgan Tuck's going to lead Bolingbrook for the next 3 years. Probably right into the state championship if they keep playing the way they were tonight.
Lee Hall standing by with our state champions. Lee.
All right, thanks a lot. We're with Anthony Smith, back-to-back second-place finishes, and this one's got to feel pretty sweet, Coach.
This feel good. State champions, we can see it. 2 years waiting for state champions. Once again, Bolingbrook High School, state champions. There it is.
Second state championship in the last 4 years. Tell me how it feels to just see what these girls were able to accomplish this year.
It feels good. These young ladies work extremely hard. And then I told them over and over again, second place, that's not good enough for this group here. First place is good enough, and they did it tonight. First place, state champion.
You've only got one senior in your starting lineup. We're going to see a lot of you, maybe.
Hopefully so. A couple more. Let's go. Repeat.
Congratulations, my friend. All right. Morgan Tuck is with us. She is our country financial player of the game. 17 points, 8 boards. Got to be your best game of the year as a team.
I think it is. We came out with energy the whole time. We came out with halftime the whole time with energy. It's probably like the most energetic, the most improved game that we ever had.
Well, it didn't take you any time. You jumped right in there as a freshman, and you get a taste of what it's like, and we may see a lot more of you here in the future, huh?
I sure hope so. I hope we get down here the rest of my high school career.
All right, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team, all right? Morgan Tuck, our country financial player of the game, as Bolingbrook takes home their second state championship in the last 4 years, guys.
Unbelievable. Morgan Tuck with 17 points, and let's go now to our public address announcer, Jeff Fritzen, as we pass out the awards tonight.
To finish the season in second place with a final record of 33 wins and 2 losses. First meet the principal, Dr. Joyce Kenner. Athletic Director, Chris Cassidy. Athletic Trainer, Shanna Smith. Head coach Corry Irvin. Assistant coach Daryl Carter. Assistant coach Valerie Spann. Assistant coach Hank Hicks. Manager Lakiva Hudson. And the Dolphin squad members, Candence Kennedy. Kiana Johnson. Victoria Thompson. Andrea Hawkins. Janae Thompson. Chanise Jenkins. Mariah King. Sinclair Cunningham. Raisha Blair. Jeroma Webb. Ashlee Anderson. Laquita Garner. Gillian Asque. Cara Smith. And Portia Harris. Now let's meet the Raiders of Bolingbrook High School, who finished the season in first place with a final record of 25 wins and 4 losses. First meet Superintendent Dr. Philip Schofstall. Assistant Principal Pat Clare. Athletic Director Alix Anderson. Athletic Trainer Gina Nolan. Head Coach Anthony Smith. Assistant Coach Carter Larry. Assistant Coach Evan Burkott. Assistant Coach Clarence Simmons. Assistant Coach Lauren Martins. Assistant Coach Corey Bassett. Assistant Coach Janae Smith. Manager Aaron Woods. Manager Shanier Hosey. And the Raiders squad members Ashley Oliver. Mercedes Griffin. Satavia Taylor. Taylor Tuck. Ariel Massengale. Fallon Edwards. Candace Nevels. Nicossia Henry. Chanise Williams. Delacey Anderson. And Morgan Tuck. Second place trophy has been awarded to Coach Urban and the Whitney Young captains, Dr. Kenner. And now will Coach Smith of Bolingbrook High School please step forward to receive the Class 4A championship trophy.
So the celebration is on for the state champions from Bolingbrook. We will be back to wrap it up from Redbird Arena after this network timeout. We are the champions blaring, Bolingbrook celebrating. They are indeed the 4A champions, and no doubter tonight as they win big over Whitney Young. Let's take a look at the final stats for this game, brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Whitney Young's offense never got going against that Bolingbrook defense.
Yeah, it was a Bolingbrook defense a lot, and you got to give Bolingbrook a lot of credit. They just went at the matchups that gave them a big advantage, and Whitney Young never could get in the game.
Whitney Young shot just 26% from the field, attempted just 6 free throws in the game, and not a lot of second chance points there, but just domination really. It was close through midway through the first quarter, but from then on it was all Bolingbrook in this one. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from this contest tonight. Bolingbrook doing it all inside and outside, and that was Mrs. Outside there, and Nicossia Henry connecting. Portia Harris the other way for the lay-in. She had 9 points to lead Whitney Young. Some transition action also for Bolingbrook. Mercedes Griffin on the score, then Satavia Taylor. It was a pretty balanced effort there by Bolingbrook.
Pretty balanced effort by all their players.
And of course, those folks playing the 5th man, make it the 6th woman role here tonight, the Raider Nation. Loving this contest. So Bolingbrook now in the last 4 years has 2 state championships, 2 runner-up finishes, maybe a mini dynasty in the works here with these underclassmen that are going to be coming back too.
Well, they've got some awful good players coming up, and the turning point in this game was, I think, when Morgan Tuck hit those 2 threes right at the beginning. From that point, they had no answer. Whitney Young couldn't play her outside because Portia stayed outside with her, and that just changed the whole game right away.
So Bolingbrook is the 4A champion. Peoria Richwoods is the 3A champion, both convincing winners here today. Who will be the boys champions? Join us next week for the 1A and 2A boys title games in Peoria. For now, I'm Scott Lubber for head coach Daryl Kipp. Lee Hall and the IHSA TV crew doing a great job tonight. As always, so long everybody from Redbird Arena.